Oh, we're live now. I don't know. Must have
Just a
been
glitch or something.
an encoding thing. What is up, Yoon-Fam? Hopefully this mic is actually picking up. I think this setting should be fine. Everybody in chat, let me know if the mic is okay.
Saying the little thing.
Okay, so we're good. All right. Let's give this a little bit more light back here, maybe. All right. Sorry, guys. It's trying to. I'm not used to streaming on YouTube directly. I'm used to using like OBS or something like that. I see a lot of birthday wishes. Thank you very much. Mark Pengrin saying, "Give me a present by Back in Gun Goth." Yes, please do. Please, please, please do. I pinned that message. Okay. I just wanted to talk about a few things today with you guys. Welcome to the chat. Let me know if the music in the background is too loud. If it is, I will turn it down. And if you can also hear Rich, that would be great. Let's full screen this. Okay, that's better. I want some good lighting. Sorry. But so far, I see Mark Pengrin in the chat, and I see Giannis in the chat. What is up to both of you? Thank you for joining me on this weekend. My birthday is technically Wednesday, but since Rich's birthday is in early August, we figured we'd do this stream while he's here in Florida with me. So let me know if I guess you're enjoying that. But we did have a topic we wanted to talk about today. And we will be talking to the chat and communicating. That's the new word, I think.
John Wick.
Rex communicado. Yeah. So please like the stream, and we will jump into it. If you guys want to talk about anything, feel free to hit us up in chat. Also, if you have anything that you want to talk about along the lines of what we're talking about, we will make sure to acknowledge that. But for now, I wanted to talk about just recent fighting games that have come up recently, or upcoming also, and just talk a little bit about like which ones we've liked, what we thought they've done well, ones that we thought they've done poorly on, could have been better, stuff like that. Yeah, like we will wait a little bit for people to get into the chat, but also, do you want to talk a little bit about recent fighting games and open us up for discussion, and then I'll kind of piggyback off of you?
Yeah. So I'll start. Just to clarify, we're talking about like things that have come out in like the last year or so that have been like for like PS5, like this current generation
or upcoming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I don't necessarily think like a lot of these fighting games have been bad, but I feel like there's always something that they kind of fall short on that kind of, I guess, maybe sours the experience. And I do find myself like not coming back to them as much as I used to be.
Yeah.
I think it's partially just with me just being preoccupied with other games and they require a little bit more time, and because I'm more of a single player guy. And then also just being more busy with other things in my life that have kind of hindered that, which aren't the game's fault. But I know I feel like there's always like a lot of like controversy because I think around like the big three that had far recent games like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Mortal Kombat 1. I feel like the general consensus. I feel like there's one or two that are more liked than the other one, but I still feel like all three of them I just hear a lot of negativity with here and there. Like I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, admittedly, and I'm someone that's very fatigued.
Thank you.
Very fatigued with Street Fighter when Capcom could be doing other
fighting. A little bit closer.
I'm sorry. Fatigued with Street Fighter when Capcom could be doing other fighting games, and I think I have realized over the years that I've kind of maybe let my frustration with that and sort of maybe like my think kind of being a little soured on the roster kind of influenced my opinion of the game. And I think Street Fighter 6 is actually pretty good, at least compared to Street Fighter 5.
I've gone on record actually surprisingly saying that of the PlayStation 5 era thus far, Street Fighter 6 has been my favorite fighting game that's come out. I think it's made the most overall improvements on its past iterations without like taking away too much.
Yeah.
Roster stuff aside, because I know you're big on roster for like every fighting game. I'm not so much because it's always like you can go back to the other games if you want, I guess. But like you do want to play the most current one with your favorite characters and your mains. So I totally get that. But for me, just like the way they went out of their way for the open world exploration thing with your created character and like all your interactions within the cast and all the single player content modes and giving extra story with the characters that you buy via DLC. all of that stuff was like leaps and bounds among better than like what 5 or even 4 did in the past. So, comparing them directly, Street Fighter 6 to the other fighting games from this console generation so far, I think it stands above the rest, which is not easy for me to say because I'm like a more of a Tekken or Soul Calibur guy, but I feel like Soul Calibur notwithstanding because there is no Soul Calibur right now, but like Tekken definitely has a new iteration, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do think Street Fighter actually did overall a good job this time, and it made me care about Street Fighter again. World Tour is just a good mode. I don't know.
I think I can agree that Street Fighter 6 is probably the most improved. Because I feel like the other like Street Fighter 5 and 4, like I don't think they were bad games, but they really didn't like try. They focused so much on the esports and the kind of competitive side.
The first iteration of 5 was so boring. Like the first day I booted up 5, there was nothing to do.
And I think 5 kind of sort of made to an extent made a lot of people wake up and kind of realize that like, hey, you need a little bit more than just like online and stuff in a game.
It was like arcade and online. That's it.
It was actually it wasn't
even arcade.
It was survival.
That's true.
Survival and like a very did it have the?
It didn't have story yet.
I the character episodes of launch, or if they came later.
Thanks, Chaz.
I know the story came a little later. I think the character episodes might have been in the launch. I can't remember. But yeah, it was very bare bones, and it doesn't help. I mean, there's only like 16 characters on the roster.
It was very bare
6
bones.
at least bumped it up to 18. I would have liked to see it hit like 20, but it's okay. I mean, I would probably say the one that I probably like the most out of those big 3 probably is Tekken 8. I know a lot of people don't like Tekken 8 right now, but I guess I'm talking about more so when it launched. I think it just I
see. We were talking about that, and like as much as I like Tekken as a whole, and I like Tekken 8, the fact that the online hub was dead. There was like nothing to do in there. The third, I know everyone likes the Tekken Ball. I hate Tekken Ball. I think it's boring and stupid.
They should have just had bowling.
Tekken Bowling is head and gears like and it's.
They probably didn't want to do bowling because they just added in Tekken 7, but
but
it's just so much more popular.
They barely did. They could have improved upon it because in Tekken 7, besides it being a $15 DLC add-on, you couldn't even play it like online. It's not. It's only single player unless you play with a friend like on the couch. It's like the only thing that's like it's only couch. And I think
if I remember correctly, you can't even do like a single player version of it where like because it would be cool if you could at least play the computer, maybe get some money, stuff like that. But I don't even think you could do that.
No, it was like I don't know if you could. I don't remember. I don't want to
at least Tekken Bowling. I think in 7, I thought you could just do it for fun against the computer and maybe at least get some money from it or something. But
you may be able to. I don't remember. I have to go back to 7 and try it. But like the only time I ever get a chance to play that is with my brother because he plays with me. But it's like my brother at the time was living in Oklahoma, so like me being here in Florida, I can only play with him like when we visit each other. When we have like our gaming nights or whatever, we can't even touch it because it's like you can't play with people online, which is completely stupid.
Yeah.
Especially for a modern game. So that left a sour taste in my mouth for sure. But it's still leagues better than Tekken Ball. Tekken Ball is like you do one match and you're done for the rest of your life. It's so boring. It's I know it was a big thing in Tekken 3 and everyone loved it, but I was more in Tekken 3 concerned with like the first Tekken Force mode than that.
And I will say, I think is the biggest crime of Tekken 8. I don't know why they refuse to just bring back a Tekken Force mode. If you had something like that, I think that would make things so much better. And the frustrating thing is, they kind of had it in the story mode.
They gave us a forced version of it in small amounts in story mode that was broken because everyone that I know, their jacks were T-posing the whole time. So it's not even like you can even have the challenge of it.
Why not make that a full-on mode or something like that? Like, okay, I can maybe understand if it wasn't in a launch, but the game's been out for, I think, it's coming up, I think, maybe to 2 years now, maybe.
And I would pay for it, to be honest.
I would pay for it, too.
Because Tekken 5, one of my favorite things about Tekken 5 is, what was it? The Tekken 5's Devil Within mode, I think. But that was cool from Jin's perspective and stuff like that.
And Tekken 6 had the scenario.
Tekken 6 was better because Tekken 6 you could be any character, and they all had their complete movesets intact from the actual fighting game. And they had character interactions, and that was really, really good. It was the best version of that game. And then 7, one of the reasons I didn't like 7 as much is because they got rid of that. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I didn't like Tekken 7 as much.
Yeah, like I overall like Tekken 8 more than 7. It's not an overall 100% improvement. I think overall, though, I liked it more.
Yeah.
But I can agree that 6 was Street Fighter 6 was a bigger improvement from 5 than 8 was from 7. I'll admit that much.
That is true. I mean, I did like the little arcade mode that they had with your like chibi character where
that was cool. I like that mode.
That was pretty fun. I would have rather been like a full-size character mode and have like some kind of character creation showing that they actually could do it, and that there wasn't much to do in there outside of like get more character stuff for your chibi guy. So that could have been enhanced a little bit. And like I said, the online mode, like they have shops and stores and all this stuff online, but you can't actually go to any of them or buy anything like you can in the Street Fighter 6 hub. You're just walking around. It's boring. And then like the story of Tekken is a convoluted mess anyway, so I don't really care about talking about the story, right? Because it's just like Jin versus Kazuya versus Heihachi constantly.
I think Tekken 8, I think the story mode, like regardless, you can say the actual plot or like I think it had a lot of really cool moments where a lot of characters got to like shine and do their
There's Dragon Ball Z elements to it, where there's like really cool fights. You get like a lot of cool emotional things that happen.
Yeah.
But as far as like story goes, like I hated how Heihachi came back, spoiler alert, just to like be that cool monk version, and then all of a sudden like they just made him go right back to being Heihachi.
I should probably say I'm mainly talking about
the main campaign.
Yeah. I didn't actually play the new
DLC
with Eddie and Lydia and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I was definitely bummed that they brought back Heihachi, and at the very least, I think what they should have done if they really have to bring it back, they should have waited till like the very last season of the game. Have it in the very first season is just like, come on, man. Like,
and
you could have had another character that we don't see as much, first of all,
right?
And then it's like I feel like it kills some of that sort of I don't know what's the right word, like impact of him being kind of like gone in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was like, and it was convoluted in a way that like when Heihachi first comes back as the monk and he's doing like somewhat different of a fighting style and stuff, you're like, this is cool. We get to see Heihachi as like a straight up good guy, and like, but then they're like, the one thing that we do not want you to do, and Chaz is right, if you're not in a Mishima, you get sidelined in Tekken stories. But the one thing that they were like, we cannot have Heihachi regain his memories. That's our main goal as this entire tribe. So what do they have him do? They have him headbutt people, punch meteors, and basically do everything that Heihachi would need to do to regain his memories. Like they're like, we don't want you to regain your memories, but we're gonna force your memories down your throat. It was like, what did they expect to happen at that point?
Yeah.
And then they just sidelined Reina. Like Reina was like built up to be this like main baddie,
I like Reina,
and she ended up doing nothing. Like,
well, I mean, I figured maybe they're building up in the future too. She could always come.
I've heard inklings though, like on Twitter and stuff, about like her literally just like changing course character wise of not being the main baddie. She's just gonna be like another Tekken character at this point.
Well, like, can she at least get her devil form though?
Hopefully, but I mean, like, I'm still waiting for Lars to get his. I think that would be badass if
I don't know if Lars can get one though. I don't know. I feel like he would have got one by now.
He is a Mishima though. Like, I mean, he's
not full Japanese though. Maybe that's
maybe the devil gene is racist.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. It's xenophobic. It's like, oh, you got some white in
Swedish.
you.
No
Yeah,
thanks,
you got some PewDiePie in you. We can't let you have this. But
no offense to anyone that's Swedish in the chat. Like that.
So we get the chef from Muppets is all pissed off. But yeah, so like, while I do like Tekken 8, I still think that Street Fighter 6 takes it for this generation just because of the amount of stuff you can do single player wise.
Have they been the only? Are those three really the only fighting games? Have we haven't had more?
No, we have.
We're talking more about. I guess then we're getting the anime fighting games.
We can get into everything. I mean, like Fatal Fury, City of Wolves. I bought that day one, played it for a week, never touched it again.
To be fair though, I think they at least tried a little bit more than because I like SNK and I like the characters and all that, but like. Their games tend to be very bare bones as well. I know they're not as big of a company, admittedly, but Fatal Fury City Wolves actually does have a lot more than like KOF 15, 14.
But at least with KOF, you get a ton of characters.
Yeah,
like there's no characters in this game. Like it's like you can have your favorites, and then it's like there's nobody.
See, it sucks because I think the roster would have been a 10 out of 10, but instead of bringing back the last two characters from Guru Mark of the Wolves, Jae-hoon and Freeman, who's my main after all, Freeman, they put in probably the two, in my opinion, dumbest guest characters in any fighting game ever. Like the soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo and the DJ guy.
And without bringing up controversy, we know why. It's because Saudi Arabia like owns it, and they're just trying to milk it for commercialization.
The crazy thing is, I think I heard Cristiano Ronaldo. He went. I don't know the right terminology. I think he's joining a different team that's not under Saudi Arabia now anyway, so it's just now that's totally undermined.
Yeah.
So it's like that was a huge waste.
I mean, we got Maximilian Dude in the game at least. Like,
yeah, he does look like Maximilian Dude. And it sucks because I don't know if Jaehoon and Freeman are coming anytime soon. So it really sucks to someone like me that liked Guru Mark Wolves and thought we were getting all those characters back.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like you even King of Fighters. I would consider that because that's got a PS5 version.
I think
like
the thing is with King of Fighters that they have to have a bigger roster because
the teams.
It's teams.
Yeah,
you have to have a bigger roster in a team game. But I see what you're saying though.
Yeah, I mean, but even if we're going into like anime stuff, like you were talking about earlier, like Storm Connections is probably the weakest Storm game of the entire Storm series. I can't. Can you name me another Storm game that's worse than Connections?
Well, I don't think Storm Connections is necessarily weaker. I think the problem is they kind of went. It was just such a small improvement, and I think they went back in some areas.
But even the other side games, like that are like with that, like Revelation and
Yeah.
Generations, it's like okay, Generations was a smaller upgrade, but they had completely new animated cutscenes like that were never seen
I
before.
feel like they tried. They definitely tried more with Generations
and Revolution, the fact, Revolution, that's Resident Evil. Revolution, the fact that like you can bring your character in the open world and completely customize them, and you're in this like open world hub was amazing.
I love that.
And then they brought that back for future iterations, and we thought I was going to get more of that in this. But what's the biggest thing they did that they didn't do in any of the other ones, except for Generations, is they got rid of the free roaming mode. And like that stupid Naruto mode where like you're going through the past stories or whatever, that was meant to be an open world mode because all they do is teleport you to like different characters within Konoha, but it still has the characters walking in the background. They're all still doing their thing that they would be doing in the open world.
Yeah.
So it's basically like we can't program this in time to get like it right with like Boruto or whatever, even though Boruto is in Storm 4 in the open world.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't do that anyway. But that just irritated the crap out of me. And then also like the lack of lobbies day one and the fact that like you can't choose your teams like while we're actually squaring up. We have to make preset teams and then go into the match with them. I hated that. And that's the first time Naruto's done that. Like usually you can just choose your characters.
That was really stupid because I remember we tried to play online and I was like, what the hell? Like you can't just pick your.
You have to do it beforehand. It's so dumb.
God,
it's like that's for people that. How do you have a team of mains in a game with like 200 something characters? Like it's like impossible. Like I don't know.
I mean, like I have main teams that I'll use, but I'm not going to use them all the freaking time. That's kind of just boring.
And part of like what I like playing with friends in those games is categories, right? It's like, all right, contingencies. Like you can only choose characters from this page. No godlike characters. Only characters with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Because there's so many characters in that roster that like it's really easy to lose yourself in just picking random characters and trying new characters. And the fact that we did get cool stuff like Kurenai coming back for the first time.
Yeah,
in like a long time. What's in Storm 2, I think?
She actually was never playable in the Storm games. She was only playable in the 2D games.
The Ultimate Ninja games?
The only character we haven't gotten back from it that was in the Storm games is Lars, funnily enough.
Right. Well, we can see that because he's technically a guest character. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why they can't bring him back. He's owned by Bandai Namco, but
that is true. Yeah, and his suit was designed by Kishimoto, right? Yeah. So I don't know. So Connections wasn't really that hype for me either. Whenever I want to play with friends, usually people are like, "Well, let's just play Storm 4," and I'm like, "Okay, well, let's just play Storm 4 then."
Also, so still annoyed they didn't add friggin'
Tobirama, Toneri, yeah, Tobirama, yeah, he is in the game. Yeah,
Tobirama was in it. I'd be kind of annoyed at this point.
Yeah, like I don't know that. So like, I still want to play Connections. It's got more characters than any other Storm game because of all the DLC. Yeah, but it's kind of hard to just like give up everything that Storm 4 offers you in lieu of like 5 new characters. You know, even though we got like the new Boruto Akatsuki team, I forget what they're called, like with the Jiraiya clone and stuff.
Yeah. I know you're talking
so that's really cool to have that, but it's like I'd still rather play 4, to be honest. That's why I think it's a fail for this generation for that. But I did hear rumblings on Twitter that the creators did say that this might not be the last Storm game. Like they don't want to go out like that, so they might actually do like a final like Storm 5.
Yeah, maybe that'd be a better note to end on.
This is a midpoint game too, just like Generations and Revolution.
I was gonna say too. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I think they're starting to work on the next part of the Boruto anime. Yeah. So that might also be maybe something for them to continue also. And I've heard that the next part of Boruto, for the most part, is way better.
The time skip stuff. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Giannis, chimed in and said Bandai Namco Shonen games are considered to be 3D fighters now, and 2D is traditional, but never discovered for years. Fighters in Budokai. Well, Budokai is 2.5D. It's not. That's not 2D either.
Yeah, but Budokai was like kind of like Tekken or Soul Calibur. Just
yeah, I don't consider them 2D either. They're 2.5D.
Yeah.
Like Fighters is a 2D game, but like those are 2.5D because you can still move around the dimensions by sidestepping and stuff.
And they probably made that even better in the newer games. Like
we were just playing Infinite World last night, and like you can like zoom around and stuff like that. So, so I somewhat agree with that. I mean, I would like to see like some of those older games come back in HD forms. Like I still don't know why they never did an HD remake of Tenkaichi. Like not even a remake. Just give us Tenkaichi like 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Maybe even throw Tenkaichi Tag Team in there and like let us play that. Like it's a. Chaz says, I want a proper 3D fighting games back instead of anime arena fighters. See, I like anime arena fighters, so...
I don't really mind anime arena fighters. Like,
if it's my favorite IP and I want to play as the characters, I'm going to still want to do it.
Could they be better? Sure, but I don't know.
Penguin said...
I think they both can coexist. I think that's the thing.
Penguin said Boruto's probably not coming back until 2028, which is driving him crazy.
Ooh,
that is a big... That's
a big wait, yeah.
Maybe it's not a time skip anymore. It's natural age progression.
They're
like Boruto's going to be 16 at this point. But yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to think of what other fighting games came out like within this generation, like within the PS5 generation.
Yeah, I think they're kind of the main ones. I think it's Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, and
we have the Gundam Breaker games, but I don't really consider them fighting games.
They're more like just action games,
right? Sparking Zero. So.
Yeah. And I mean, I know Sparking Zero, I feel like is considered a huge disappointment, and I liked it. I think it could have just maybe had a little bit more to it.
See, and also Giannis, like that's why I made that whole video back in the day of like why rollback doesn't necessarily equal good. Because I know you're asking for rollback in like the Gundam Battle Assault trilogy, which would be cool. But Nen Impact, Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact has rollback, but they specifically delayed the game to put rollback netcode in it. And it's some of the worst netcode that has ever been in a fighting game. And now they're like talking about how they need to change stuff around and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that has rollback, like legitimately.
And that's the main thing I always see people ask for now is rollback netcode.
That's because they don't understand what netcode is. Like I know everyone knows the biggest difference between like delay based and rollback. So it's like which rollback is technically delay based also. It's just a different way of doing it. But like it's just a really unless you know what the netcodes are, like what netcode is, it's really hard to have that conversation with somebody because they just hear rollback as like a buzzword and they want to just throw that at everything.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Nen Impact earlier, speaking of anime fighters, and I was like, can I please have Meruem in a good game? Like, I don't want to play Jump Force anymore. And he was the only reason why I was holding on to that for so long. And then the fact that like Nen Impact is not going to do good, I'm probably still going to get it, but I'm going to wait till that's on sale.
I'm just asking for my birthday next month. Yeah.
I'm going to wait for it till it's on
I was
sale.
going to get, like I was saying to him, I was going to get Nen Impact day one, but because I was kind of like, I'm not a huge Hunter x Hunter fan. I heard it was so bad. And I heard Donkey Kong was so good.
Right.
I'm like, I'll just get Donkey Kong now, and then I'll get Nen Impact later.
See, I like the Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only thing about Hunter x Hunter that I actually like. I'm not a big fan of like the rest of the arcs. I think they're either slow or like
we're bigger Yu Yu Hakusho fans.
We're both. I mean, I'm wearing a Yu Yu Hakusho shirt right now.
Probably like my favorite.
But I mean, I wish they would give that a reoccurrence coming back. But you know, it is what it is.
Well, I think one we have to give some credit to. I know it wasn't mind blowing, but Bleach Rebirth of Souls.
Oh, okay. We talk about that.
I think again, it wasn't amazing, but the first Bleach game in a while, and it tried some new things. I think there was definitely some effort put into that.
It also forced me to have a retraction because I actually gave an initial review of Bleach.
That's right, I remember that. Yeah.
And then after playing it for about 20 more hours, I went back and did an updated video about why I was wrong and why Bleach Rebirth of Souls is actually a good game. And I've played like matches against people in it recently, and like I get tossed in that. Like Carl played it for the first time. My brother played it for the first time with me, whooped my ass all over the place, and I was like, you don't need to know the functions of it. He has the game, but he hasn't even gotten to like Rukia.
So he's not even as far as I am.
Yeah. So, and I beat the game. Like I have 30 hours in just the story mode alone. So, and I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. And I admittedly haven't played it in a while since I beat the story mode because it was such a slog to get through.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's a good game. I hope people give that game a second chance so we can get like at least a sequel that does things better. That's
always something I've always said is that with anime games especially, I feel like they never get it right. Maybe with some exceptions on the first go around. Like most of our favorite anime fighters, like Dragon Ball Infinite World.
This
is the fourth game.
I think Storm 1 was pretty
Storm,
solid.
Storm 1 was a solid start.
But that's technically like Ultimate Ninja 7. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like CC2 has had experience making Naruto games.
There was like 7 Ultimate Ninja, like 6 Ultimate Ninja games before that.
Yeah. Storm 1 was basically like they basically just took the Ultimate Ninja game.
It's all the same moves. They just made it 3D. Yeah, it's all the same moves. They took it off the 2D plane. That's it.
But like, yeah, for that was one of the exceptions.
It was open world. Konoha was open world, so that was pretty fun. But I see what you're saying. Like going from Budokai 1 to Infinite World is infinitely better. It's like there's no comparison.
Or like what's another one?
Let's see. Even like Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance up to like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, like not so much Armageddon, but Deception was way better. Maybe that's a bad example, but Deception was better.
But the thing is, I feel like with anime games, because for whatever reason, licensed games tend to have like smaller budgets or something. They I guess tend to like suffer more.
A lot of the budget goes towards actually procuring the license, and then they have to pay it on the back end.
That's the problem. And I mean, sure, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, that's made by a heavily skilled like fighting game team though, so like I don't know if that even really counts.
Chaz said that would be like comparing Final Bout to Battle of Z. Well,
to Fighter Z.
I mean to Fighters. Yeah, I think that like that's an unfair comparison too, because they're two completely different games. One's a 3D fighting game.
I don't know who the hell made Final Bout.
I have it over there, but I don't feel like looking for it. It's some Japanese company. But Fighters is like, I mean, Arxis has, they do games like that. So like Arxis is one of those games kind of like who's the company that does like the anime the anime like Musu games?
Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo. So like W Force, right? So like they Arxis is pretty much similar to that, where they like take an IP and they add a skin to their already like how they do things.
Yeah.
So you can play any of their games and it feels essentially the same, with some differences here and there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, because like W Force does it, like Berserk Band of the Hawk can feel totally different from like One Piece Pirate Warriors.
I would say probably Arc Systems probably does a little bit of a better job of kind of making the game stand out. Like Koei Tecmo, like I like their games and all, but yeah, they generally are for the most part skins.
Unless it's like Attack on Titan, which you can't
do. Attack on Titan is a lot different.
Berserk Band of the Hawk, and I would argue Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, and
North
stuff.
Star pretty different.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so just saying that, like, notwithstanding, see, this is going to be me shade, but I'm not a huge fan of 2D fighters anymore. I think it takes too much time to like learn how to play them.
I think part of the problem with 2D fighters, I like them still. I think the problem is they tend to be the most focused on online and competitive play.
Thanks,
the more 3D fighting games, for some reason, they tend to put a little more effort into other parts of the game.
They're more geared towards casuals, so it's like you can do cool stuff without having to like break your thumbs on a directional pad, which I appreciate.
2D fighting games, they have been trying to make things a little more accessible, like having like the simple modes and stuff like that. Even though I still prefer.
But I feel like gameplay wise, the only way that they do that usually is with like tagging, and then like now with tagging, you're adding extra stuff because like they have tag mechanics like and cancels in their combo strings, which makes it like so hard to pull off a combo, like a legit combo, not just like your basic X triangles, but or square X's. But like I don't know, like have there been other fighting games that have come out in this generation? I know we're like almost 5 years deep at this point.
I think the non-anime ones are really just Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, and Fatal Fury. I don't think.
Because Virtual Fighter's not out yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Virtual Fighter's coming.
That's coming. Dead or Alive got rebooted, or waiting for a reboot, so we don't know what's going on with that.
We don't know. We don't talk however that's going to be a thing anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for Dead or Alive 7 too, but it seems like they're focusing on Ninja Gaiden first. And from what I've heard, they're going back to the drawing board with like stories and stuff like that. So they don't want to jump off of 6. I think Dead or Alive 7 might be either a reboot or it's just going to be a reworking of like the game and the timeline.
I don't really think Dead or Alive needs a reboot. I feel like a lot of the problems with 6 weren't really.
It doesn't matter. It's just like what the fan perception was. So that's what they felt, and the sales reflect it. So
that just sucks because I hope it's more like Dead or Alive Dimensions, where it kind of encapsulates the first 3 or 4 rather than just doing 1.
Yeah, and Chaz is saying he prefers 3D fighters to arena fighters. I get you, but like the arena fighters, like they work better with IP that like are pre-existing, I would say.
I think it's just hard to have like a game like
Like Kill la Kill was awesome on last gen, and like
Yeah.
even though nobody bought that game because it's got like 8 characters, but
Yeah.
that's an awesome game. Like they all feel completely different.
It just
like,
sucks. It's always got. There's always. I think the problem is there always has to be a compromise. Either you get like no characters and like, but like good gameplay and maybe like some like more things to do, or it's like you get a ton of characters but like nothing to do, or like everybody plays the same.
Okay, so let's talk about that then too. Let's go into Sparking Zero because we didn't talk about it yet. Sparking Zero is probably my most anticipated game of the generation, just based off my love of the Tenkaichi series as a whole. Less so Raging Blast because like A, they X-nayed GT, and then B, they just like felt, especially Raging Blast 2, it had like nothing to do in that game. The Galaxy mode was bullshit to replace the story mode with, because there's like, oh, if you use this character against this character, they'll say something. And I'm like, great.
I mean, I like Galaxy mode.
And they look like vinyl action figures. I prefer the art style of Raging Blast 1 to 2. The only difference is in 2, they have all the movie characters that they didn't have in 1, so your roster's better. But I don't know. I still think that like Sparking Zero, I was highly anticipating it, but when it came down to brass tacks, not to mention the fact that that game specifically was crashing my PlayStation constantly for like no reason. I don't know why either. I had it looked at and everything like looks fine. The clock's all working fine. It doesn't do it with other games. It was just that. But anyway, so going back to that game, I didn't like story mode as much because A, it was buggy. So I would do the things you're supposed to do to get that secret node to unlock. And I still have a locked node that's preventing me from 100%ing the game from that locked node because I keep on doing the thing that it wants me to do, and it's not unlocking the node. So it's really irritating. I don't know if they've patched it since. I got to go back and try it again. But the story mode's not like your typical Tenkaichi story mode. Like Tenkaichi 2, I don't know. I think everybody would agree is the best story mode for the Tenkaichi series.
Yeah, I think overall.
Because Tenkaichi 3 is just like, let's stand around and talk, and then we'll
Tenkaichi
fight.
3 is basically Tenkaichi 1's again.
Exactly. It was the same
and they
thing.
skipped a lot of stuff, too.
Yeah, it was really fast to beat that game. Tenkaichi 2 had a lot more beefiness to it, but and better music. The soundtrack of that game is amazing. But so using that to anticipate this game, I went into it and I was just like, okay, this is great. But then like they cut characters like Super 17 and stuff that's like, to me, that's like inexcusable, man. And the fact that there's like,
I think the thing is, everybody was saying, oh, GT's gonna be DLC, GT's gonna be DLC. So I think because of that, because they exceeded expectations there, I was a little more forgiving, and I'm a huge Super 17 fan. So like, at least I'm like, all right, at least we got some GT in.
I mean, I was focused on that too until we got the leak, and then I was like, oh, we're just getting everybody basically. But
I think the GT characters, they were only leaked because some people, I think they released a reaction video a little too quickly.
Yeah,
but the movie characters were
right,
flat out leaked.
Yeah. But I remember we weren't even sure if we were gonna get GT in the game like for the longest time because they were
everybody in the mom was like, oh, it's gonna be DLC, it's gonna be DLC, it's gonna be DLC, and most of them.
And we're being drip fed DLC too. Like it's not like
it doesn't help. They've been really slow with that.
Yeah. Like I would like to see some more story DLC, like add some story nodes for like.
That's another problem is that like as much as I love DLC characters and adding more characters, it just sucks. It's like that's the only thing they ever add. Maybe costumes.
Well, even in the story mode, it's like why does Vegeta like stop like so early and then like
so weird.
It's like he has prominent storylines.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, at least what they could do is like add some GT story or movie stories, like nodes to those characters.
And one of the big focuses was the new Broly movie, and that wasn't in the story. I'm like, what the? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like Broly should have gotten his own story mode. That's so lame.
It's so lame. So like, I thought over time we were definitely gonna get more story characters, like nodes unlocked, but we just didn't. And I'm like, okay.
I know, it just sucks. It's always got to be like one thing or the other. It can never just be a mix.
And then we get one for Frieza who does like literally nothing. It's like the Frieza saga and then Super, and that's it.
Unfortunately, like Andy Vellum gets story too. Frieza.
Yeah. But I mean, I still like the game. I
don't agree with people saying Sparking Zero is a bad game. That I think is cap, as the youngins say these days.
I still think, and I'm gonna get hated on for this. I still think Xenoverse 2 is a better game overall than Sparking Zero.
I think
but it's mainly just because of content-wise, like not just create a character.
I think if we get a Sparking Zero 2, though, I think it's gonna. I think it might be like a Tenkaichi 2 situation for Sparking Zero.
I think it will be the best Dragon Ball fighting game we've probably ever had.
I think if they just take what they did and just improve
expand
upon
it, yeah.
gonna blow everything out of the
Give
water.
us all the characters we're missing from Tenkaichi 3, plus throw in the new ones that they've never done before, like GT Vegeta.
Yes.
Like, so you don't have to be like, regular Buu Saga Vegeta and transform into Super Saiyan
And
4.
maybe this is wishful thinking, but we might still even get those characters as DLC down the line. It's Sparking 01, maybe.
True, but if they support it past another year, like I'm dubious at best on that. Like it's a possibility, but like Dragon Ball games don't get supported that long because they're always moving on to the next Dragon Ball game.
Fighters, if you want to count that.
Right. And Xenoverse 2, which has got
oh my god, yeah, Jesus.
Which came out on PS3.
No, to be fair, Xenoverse 2 only was PS4.
Or I mean Xenoverse as a whole, yeah. Because that's like the GTA 5 of like Dragon Ball games. It's like insane. How many consoles I've owned that on.
What was I gonna say? I think Sparking Zero. I think it could. Yeah, I know what I was gonna say. And we can't use the excuse that Sparking Zero didn't sell well to make a sequel because it sold great. That wasn't a problem. It just I guess the player base just fell off quick.
Yeah, because there's always that constant fighting against like online only people versus like casuals who want to play single player story modes. I will say it has one of the best world tournament modes in any Dragon Ball game. The fact that there's like the Yamcha games and you can just do random characters and all you and your friends can play together in the same thing, and you're winning Dragon Balls and stuff like that's great. Like I do love that mode. I think
they just needed like one other kind of cool side mode and.
And more story and more what ifs,
more customization options because that was also one of the weird.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. So, this is turning into a Dragon Ball video, but like the customization options, they were talking about like in V Jump and stuff, like showing the customization like features, and they used that like V Jump aura that like came to us eventually as DLC as like a prime example of being able to customize your characters. And then, like, so we're thinking, okay, we can put Scouters in everybody. Maybe we can change their outfits or their hair or something like that. Like at least like do some cool stuff like that. But there's like it's like a few characters that already have Scouters can take their Scouters off. You have the V aura that you have to pay for.
I mean, why can't we customize the aura color? Like we could attack G3. Like
it's so
why
stupid.
Are they so against that? Like even Xenoverse 2 doesn't let you do that.
They're like aura color racist.
Like or they're probably like, it impacts the identity of the characters and dumb crap like that.
And Yoonison, the reason I don't think they're going to bring crossplay to Sparking Zero, period, is because
it doesn't have crossplay.
It's mainly a PlayStation game. Like I mean, like the biggest majority of people that purchased that game did it on
PC.
PC, yeah, but PC's a different beast because like they won't care because A, they can make their own private servers what they want, and then B, like there's mods. So like main people that do PC stuff are mainly there for the mods, and like they're gonna make their own rollback netcode in that game and just do their own thing. So but when it comes to consoles, like it's usually PlayStation is like the place where most of those anime fighters go first.
Yeah. I think it's just most associated with PlayStation.
Yeah, and I mean at this point with like everything being an Xbox, like I don't know if like we can even include that. And Switch, like even I'm sorry to say this, as much as I like the Switch 2, it released as outdated technology from the jump, like from day one, it's outdated technology. So I don't know.
Well, the crazy thing is the new My Hero Academia game. They don't even have a Switch or Switch 2 version now. It's only PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm thinking there's gonna be a Switch 2 version coming just
eventually. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think they can get around their hardware stuff. Like, I mainly buy Switch for first party games anyway. Like, unless it's like only on Switch. Like Dragon Ball. What was that? Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission was only on there, like in PC. I think it was only on Switch and PC, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna play it on Switch because, like,
I'll get some third-party games, like if there's like a remaster or something of a game. Like I bought the Rider remaster, it's a remaster of a PS2 game.
I did get Saints Row the Third on my Switch also.
But that was essentially a PS3 game. Right?
Yeah. So I don't know, like, all right, since we're like saying all that stuff, like let's talk about some things that we think they can do to improve fighting games, like in the next upcoming fighting games, what we want to see as casual / competitive, like friend competitive at least. Like, what are 3 things that you want to shoot off that you think would draw more people like us in to buy more fighting games?
Well, I think there's just got to be a little bit more to do in the game, like more to unlock. There's more to do. Roster size regardless. That's not just like kind of like one kind of straightforward cinematic or even not cinematic story mode. Like I feel like that's always like my complaint. Like there just needs to be some like extra cool thing to do that'll keep you coming back. That like a lot of stuff to do. Like I think I might have mentioned this earlier, but like I think a lot of times it seems like unlocking things like costumes always seems to be a way of the past because they'll always just if we're getting costumes, they're always going to be DLC. They never want to include them in the base game.
I agree.
Capcom is very guilty of this. Tekken kind of is. Well, Mortal Kombat 1, all the costumes you want, they're always really expensive DLC, which is messed up. So I think something like that. I just think there just needs to be just a little bit more. Like I feel like a lot of these games, it's like if you just had this one little extra like big piece, then I feel like it would just be just such a better like product overall.
Like Chaz is bringing up, I wanted to stop focusing on the competitive players only, which is like a big thing. And he said that's why they're lacking content. I do agree with that to an extent. Like, I mean, I have come around to saying that like esports and like the online community do make up a vast majority of the free marketing that video games get, especially sales for like people that watch them on Twitch and whatnot. So like I
understand it to an extent.
I appreciate it, but I also think that like at the end of the day, you're buying a game and you want to be able to play it, whether that's with yourself or just online by yourself.
I always say they should just focus on making a good game before making a good sport. I guess it is technically a sport. It's esports.
Like Hinokami Chronicles 2 is coming out, and that story looks amazing compared to the first one.
I feel like that game just seems like it has way more to it. But like I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but if that game is shaping up to how with the game though with the way that game is shaping up to be, I feel like that's maybe the type of improvements we need to go for.
It would benefit from that, yeah.
Like I was saying, like if Sparking Zero just did what they did this time. They just keep the same characters. They just add more. They add more stuff to do. Like it, I think it'll be one of the best Dragon Ball fighting games ever.
I don't disagree with you there. It certainly looks great, but
don't throw it out just because people wound up being disappointed in the long run. Sold well, just keep going.
And Penguin says, yes, bring back unlockables, non-paid content. Capcom makes you pay to unlock stuff already on the disc. But Capcom, to be fair, also, Mark, on Street Fighter 6, they let you use in-game currency to unlock DLC and stuff like that. So
wasn't that only for when it was still cool? Wasn't that only for the first couple costumes, and then everything new is you can only
characters too? I straight up bought M Bison with in-game currency.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't buy M Bison with cash. I bought M Bison with in-game currency.
I thought they got rid of that system. Okay.
The last time I bought him when Season 2 came out, I bought M Bison.
Street Fighter 6, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how I bought Homeless M Bison. I bought him specifically with in-game currency. I didn't spend money. So that is something I do like. You have to grind your ass off because like it's like so hard to get that currency.
Yeah, but Street Fighter 5 let you do that too, which I did think was cool.
Right. But you bring up a funny point, Mark, because last night Rich and I were playing in the retro corner over here, and we were playing Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, and we were like, oh, I can't wait to be like Venom and all these characters. We get in the versus mode, and I haven't played it in a while since I got my new place, my memory card or whatever, so like we had like nobody unlocked. There was like 5 characters, and we were mad at first because like, oh, we wanted to be this, and then we were like talking about it. We're like, I really miss when we could just like sit at home with hours on a game playing yourself through story to unlock stuff. It felt so much cooler when like your friends come over and like you're like, not only do I have like this character, but look at this costume that I grinded for and all this kind of stuff, and just give your credit card away, because it kind of takes away the specialness of it.
I mean, I think like to be fair, there were like I think back in like maybe the PS3 era, there were some fighting games that like there were things to unlock, but they did still add costumes later on. I think like Mortal Kombat 9 was a good example, and also probably Mortal Kombat X as well. Like there were still costumes unlocking game. Yeah, they added some stuff later, and you paid money for it, but it wasn't anything like crazy expensive.
Well, even Injustice 2 with like the timed like towers and stuff, like you could only get specific costume pieces from like these like timed towers. Yeah. And I remember I felt so happy when I got this awesome Spawn costume because it took me forever to do it.
You mean MK11?
MK11 also. They did the same thing as Injustice 2 did with the tower things. But I thought that was like really awesome, and I do wish that we like at least have ability to do that more. Sometimes they are annoying, like with the World Tournament on Xenoverse 2. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to wait for the freaking thing to get announced, and then you have to beat it 3 times just so you can get the character. Yeah. And I get it that like not everybody has to have that character. It's like a bragging right that Supreme Kai have time. Mm-hmm. But then like when you go to your versus thing, like you see you're clear there locked, and as somebody that like that irritates the shit out of me. Yeah. So it's like even if I'm never going to use her, I have to do this just so I can. But then you have to dedicate so much time to like.
Yeah, it's like I think that's the problem. It's either all
or nothing.
Or too, it's either all or it's either too much or nothing.
Right.
Like either they give us nothing, but it's at least you have everything, or you have to work for things, but it's just an unreasonable amount of work, and sometimes it might require real money as well. Like, I just wish there was like a better balance. Like, I feel like back in the PS2 and maybe earlier PS3 days, we had more of that balance.
Well, speaking of PS3 and also piggybacking off of Penguin's thing, we talk about Capcom making you pay to unlock stuff. I hate how they release a new game and then everything's just unlocked from the first game. Because, like, I got Street Fighter 4, okay? And I remember Street Fighter 4 was one of the hardest games I ever played to get, like, all the characters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The unlockable characters, yeah, they just make them.
Because to get Goken and to get, like, Akuma, it's like you have to get 4 first hits. You have to get you have to get 4 first hits, 2 perfects, not lose even 1 round, and go through the whole thing without losing 1 round, including Seth, who at the time was an insane spam bot, like insane AI. They way toned him down for like Super Street Fighter 4. But in original vanilla Street Fighter 4, but getting Akuma and Goken was such a pride thing. I was like, oh my God, like look, like we did this. So like when a homie would come over and you're like, you got Goken? And you're like, yeah, I did that shit. You know what I mean? It was like a point of pride. Then you buy the next version of the game for $50 and it's got everybody unlocked, and it's a big middle finger to you. But
yeah, I also kind of didn't like that too.
Like, I wish, like, what those new versions of the games should be is, like, let's say arcade version or Super Street Fighter 4. I would have liked if they had the vanilla, you have to unlock the characters all the same, but then they give you new ways to unlock the new characters that they introduced into the game via DLC. Yeah. So it's like you could have bought them as DLC in 4, but then when you go to the next iteration, they're in the game, but you still have to unlock them. I think that would be perfect.
Or at the very least, maybe have it away so if you unlock them, if you unlock them already, you maybe read your save file or something like that.
Yeah. Or give you the choice, because like in Sparking Zero, it's like you can either unlock them the way you're supposed to, or you can just like buy them from the shop when they pop up.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. I know it's funny because like I was, since I'm gonna ask for Hero Chronicles 2 comes out like 9 days before my birthday, so I'm like, oh, I should just ask for my birthday. But I'm like, wait, is there a pre-order bonus? I looked at the pre-order bonus, and I think it's just early unlocks for 1 or 2 of the characters.
I hate that.
I'm like, I can.
I never use early unlocks.
I'd rather just unlock them.
Yeah. Because then when you get to the point where you unlock it and you're like, there's no feeling good. It's like, oh, I could have unlocked this now, but
like hell, I remember when Sparking Zero came out. I'm like, oh look, I love Blue Gogeta and I love New Broly, but I'm like, I kind of wanted.
But they're already in the game
myself.
Yeah,
because I didn't have a choice because I got like the deluxe edition.
So did I. Yeah. Like, damn it. So I got it, and then you get the characters, but then when you get to that part, there's nothing to unlock. So you're just like, I guess cool. I guess this is fun. They need especially with accessories, they could have made that story mode last so much longer. If you're like, okay, you do this to unlock the node, but then there's a random chance to get a Dragon Ball or an accessory just from doing any node. You would replay like every freaking node in the game just to get like all more Dragon Balls and stuff. Yeah. Instead of like the way that they have Dragon Balls now, which is completely stupid. It's basically like World Tournament random chance or like what else was it? How to get Dragon Balls? It was like a limited amount. I still have not summoned Purunga in that game.
Either.
Really? Yeah, I've literally gotten Shenron like 6 times. Like I can't get Purunga.
Okay, it's Shenron, Super Shenron, and then Purunga, right?
Right, and I've gotten all of them except Purunga. He's the only trophy that I have in the missing. I have 2 trophies missing. I have that trophy, and I have completing the story 100%, which I've done a billion times, but it's like glitched. So I'm like, I could have a platinum in that game.
Not to go off on a tangent here, but I thought
that wasn't a tangent already. That was like super tangent. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, more of a tangent then. I think it would have been cool if they had the red Shenron. And that was who you summoned to get the GT characters.
Like the smoking Shenron,
Well,
cigar Shenron.
You mean the Black Star?
The Black Star
him too, sure, but yeah, I think that would have been cool and a nice touch. But.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, the GT representation in that is like a little hurtful though, anyway, because it's not like they're actually in the game; they're just characters. Yeah,
it's like you have the main thing, but it's like that's it.
Do you really? Yeah. Shenron's in that game, right? Omega.
Oh yeah. Fucking Super 17 and Nova and like Ice.
Nova and Ice is I mean, at least like Ice Man. Nova not being in it is a big thing because he's like
Ice. I didn't expect because he's never been in the Tenkaichi.
Or he's a color swap.
He's only been in Xenoverse, which I respect the hell out of Xenoverse.
He was a color swap for Nova in 3, right? Sort of.
Like it wasn't. It was like
it kind of sort of looks like him,
but it wasn't actually Ice.
Right, or Eyes, as you said.
I don't know why they didn't just make it Ice, but whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Well, we're going to start winding down a little bit because we are going on Primetime Poulton to discuss Dreamcatcher and the Haunted Pizza Horror Movie Club in about 5 minutes. So is there anything that you wanted to talk about real quick before we hop off, or say to anybody in chat?
I know I can't think of anything. I feel like we kind of talked about a lot.
We did. I think so. Well, anyway, let's get some of these last comments here, and then we'll sign off. Chaz followed up with, that's why they're lacking content. Pengrit said, yes, bring back unlockables. We already covered that. Yana said, I need cross progression because it's a pain in the ass to grind twice. I need consistency in server connections. Make everyone broken so no one is. Those are the 3 conditions you have for fighters. The last one, I don't care about balance in fighting games, to be honest. Like, if you're going to ban the character from online, ban them from online. But, like, I want to feel the difference between, like, characters.
I mean, I do and I don't. It's, you know,
well, Sparking Zero is good with that. Like,
I like balance, but it's not like, you know.
You shouldn't be able to kill Broly with a Cyberman. Like, I mean, unless you're that skilled, then you pull it off, it makes it that much better.
I think you should be a little bit, he should have an advantage, but not like, you know.
The way they can balance them, I guess, is have different, like, Kinkumin and all those, like, different Cybermen. Like, if you kill one pops back up or something, so they have, like, 1 health bar each or something. I think they've done similar things in past Dragon Ball games to that.
I was going to say, Cyberman also has such a small hitbox, but it's not like a game like Soul Calibur where it's like you're...
He also has self-destruct, which is also a pretty big move for a character to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for stopping by and watching our birthday stream, everyone. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And also subscribe to Rich's channel, Ragiroth. Are you still Ragiroth Enterprises or just Ragiroth?
Just Ragiroth. Okay. It's been just Ragiroth for a few years now.
Okay. And then also make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton, in which we will be over there in literally about 5 minutes to do their stream. So yeah, please watch that. I'll try to drop that link in the Discord so you guys can follow that. Also join the Discord, whatever. We both have Discords. Yeah, hit us up, subscribe. Maybe we'll see you out there in the future on the fighting game turf. Thank you for the mods that showed up. Thanks, Mark Pengrin. Thanks, Chaz. I appreciate you guys. I know this was a pretty short stream beforehand. Like, I just let them know, like, literally 45 minutes before we went live that we're going live. So thank you. But we just wanted to do this for fun before we hit the tequila again after the next stream. So thank you, and I guess I will catch you on the next one. I don't have an outro anymore. I got rid of my outro, so
that's right.
Yeah, there's no more thick you. So I guess
I love it. Thank you.
No, do yours, stupid.
Okay. As I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Peace out.